Welcome back to Just Ask Jess. The question I've been asked to answer this week is, as a leader, how do I drive or improve the engagement of my team? And that's a really great question, because although we know that engagement is driven by a number of different factors, the role of the specific leader is fundamental in how engaged you feel about your job and what you do every day. So I really like that someone asked that question. There's kind of three things that I'd say are the best places to start. So the first is, does your team, do the members of your team really understand what is expected of them day in, day out, and how their contribution makes a difference to the organisation? So last week we talked about how to write a good SMART goal. Goals and setting expectations is a really important part of engagement. It's the foundation level. Without that, it's really hard to build on anything from there. So go to your team and ask them, on a scale of 1 to 5, how clear are they on what they need to be doing and how that makes a difference to the organisation. And unless it's a 5, then you need to sit down and close that gap. So that's the first thing. There's two other things that I'd say are relatively easy to do that can make a big difference. The second thing I'd say is around feedback. So people want to know how they're doing. They want to know whether what they're doing is helpful and how they can learn and grow. So make sure that you're giving your team regular feedback on their performance and their behaviour. And that can be as simple as saying, you know, this week, here's what I've loved about what you've done. Here's where I think you could have done something differently to make it even better. And the last thing I think about looking at is how you're recognising your team. People need to feel valued for their contribution, and they need to feel heard in the organisation. So make sure that you spend time with your team on who they are as people, on what's important to them and their opinion, and make sure you say thank you for the work that they do and the effort that they put in. They may not achieve the results you're looking for, but if they're doing the right things and they're behaving in the right way, then make sure you recognise them for that. And we know that a thank you carries way more weight than anything else you might do for somebody, so it's not hard to say thank you to people. So those would be the big three. Make sure they know what's expected of them, give them regular feedback, and make sure you're recognising their efforts and their achievements, and that should drive a level of engagement in your team. If you have questions for us, but Just Ask Jess, you can tweet them to us or you can email them to us, and feel free to put them on Twitter with the hashtag Just Ask Jess. Thanks.